Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany
and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows
like Dawson's Creek, One Tree Hill, and more.
Hi everyone, I am Brittany.
And I'm Cynthia.
And today we're talking about Season 6, Episode 23, titled Forever and Almost Always. Air date May 11th, 2009, and the synopsis is:
Peyton and Lucas's wedding day finally has arrived, and surprise guests attend. Haley plays an unexpected role in the ceremony, while Nathan hopes to be called up to the NBA. Skills keeps Jamie on a short leash, and Brooke does the same with Nick Lachey. So Lucas narrates, and we see the white rose petals placed down the aisle. And Lucas tells Haley that just when he thought it was weird that he's going graduation, pregnancy, marriage, he remembers that she went marriage, pregnancy, and graduation, so he doesn't feel so bad.
Okay.
Yeah, so those specific order, because they've always said like a specific order you should go, but nobody does that tradition anymore. He doesn't need to.
Well, what did he say he did?
He did graduation, pregnancy, then marriage.
Oh, well, I mean, for those people that do it the traditional way, but like for those people, I mean, I think they would still consider this traditional because they did legally get married before having the baby.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, either way is fine with me. I don't care.
Yeah, and some people don't get married, so
yeah, some people are. Yeah, they're very strict on their beliefs of that.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, this is another wedding without the parents being there.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, I feel like they have been planning this for months. Didn't they say they're getting married in like 7 months, like at the beginning of the season or something? Remember, whatever it was, and now it's like, okay, it's been like her whole pregnancy. She's like 8 months pregnant now, and now we're gonna have this rush wedding. How is this what? I'm so confused when they have been planning this for before she even got pregnant.
Right.
So how is this a rushed wedding? Like, her dad should have known, oh, it's coming up. So should Karen and Andy. I am so confused at this. Like, how don't you have your family there? I'm confused. Also, Andy's rich. Him and Karen could have gotten there. Larry, I don't know. Any time for him to retire. It's like, I'm sorry, but like, parents would be there.
Right.
It's just weird. Again, yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why I don't like TV shows doing big special episodes like this, like weddings, babies, graduations, because damn well in real life they'd be there for every one of those occasions. But on TV, oh no. Even when somebody gets in a car accident, like when they're an adult on TV shows, and oh no, only the friends are there. It's like, what? In real life, if that happened, where they're in a car accident or something, that the family would be there. At least the parents, like they would fly out. Like if you had a kid, you would fly out for your kid. It's like, what? So even those don't make sense. But yeah. Oh, well, I think it was because of 90210, the newer one. One of the characters was in a car accident, and his mom, I think she was there when he was in the hospital, but afterwards for like recovery, she wasn't there. And it's like, because she was there for like that one episode that he was in the hospital, and then she just disappeared. And I was like, how could she just disappear? Her son was in a car accident. Like, how does she just disappear? And she's not checking up on him to like make sure he's okay and he's being taken care of because he couldn't drive for a certain amount of time. It just doesn't make any sense because again, in real life, they would be there. So
Right.
I remember when that came around and I was like, okay, yeah, like I'm glad she's there, but then she was gone. So it was stupid.
Yeah.
Same thing here. Yeah.
Mhm.
But I don't get how this is a rushed wedding. I don't. They've been planning this since before she got pregnant.
Right. And then they have the minister bathroom.
Yeah. How convenient.
So yeah. So that's when Haley tells Lucas about how when her sister Queen got married, a friend of hers got ordained, on the internet in 30 seconds.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Because we've never really heard about the sister, right? Do you think they had Haley say this about her sister because of season 7? Because she is the next one that comes in.
If they planned it that way already ahead of time, yeah, probably.
Like people probably are like, whatever, Haley, like we never see your family.
Yeah.
But little do they know what less like 2 episodes, 1.
Yeah.
They're gonna it's like you're gonna see Quinn, but yeah, I do wonder if they had thrown that in there knowing that Quinn was coming to town.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like they could have said Taylor either. So I mean, Haley's supposedly had brothers and that just disappeared too, so she could have even said a brother, but
She had an older sister, Vivian, too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because I remember when Nathan was like, Vivian, Quinn, and Taylor's like, no, it's Taylor. It's like, how many siblings does this girl have?
Right. So Haley's thinking of who could do this for Lucas, and then that's when he signs her up really quick on his little flip cell phone, right? I don't know how he did that in 30 seconds on that little phone, but
and they had internet back on the phones in 2009.
They did, but remember, like it costs a lot just to even be on there for a minute.
Well, because that's why you couldn't do full sentences.
Yeah, I was texting. Yeah, but the internet was like really expensive to be on there. Yeah.
But so was texting. That's why, because remember, texting was every letter was a certain amount. Like you couldn't. That's why people were trying to make up words because they couldn't type the whole thing. So that's why you had to be very careful. But like, I would think the internet, would be like 10 times that. Like, because again, I did not have internet on my phone until maybe like senior year.
Yeah,
but it definitely wasn't here in 2009.
Yeah, I mean, it was in the flip phones. It's just expensive, like I said. So the fact that he was able to do it that quick was really unrealistic because it took forever even to get on the internet, nonetheless type that out for to sign her up.
Especially because like obviously now we have like the best of the best of phones, right? Until a couple of years later in the future. But like you would think that even our phones, by the time you get on the internet and type that in and log in and have it to put your information or whatever, like even our phones now that are very fast, it still would be slow for the scene or too fast for the scene, whatever. However you want to say it. But it's like, because while she only says like a sentence, he's like, all done. Like, huh? That fast?
I don't know about smartphones in general, but the iPhone first came out in 2007, but it wasn't normalized yet for everybody to have one. So
but even if you ordained yourself right now, Cynthia, it would probably be longer than that scene was.
Yeah.
Because again, you probably have to put in your information, right? So, and the fact that Lucas just knows all of her information.
I mean, they've been friends long enough, so.
Yeah, but who knows what it's asking? Like maybe your social security.
I don't know.
And you never know. But I was just like, wow, that's just so convenient. As she's talking.
Yeah, it's just funny how she said they should get somebody that's known him for most of his life, but that's only her. So I don't know about she was maybe skills, but or mouth even.
But for Haley, she was friends with Peyton and clearly best friends with Lucas, so it would make more sense for Haley to do it. It was just funny. I also think, obviously, I do think the reason why they threw that in there was because Lucas and Peyton did not have groomsmen and bridesmaids. They had a best man and a maid of honor.
Yep.
So I think that's why, because obviously for Haley, she had both.
Mm-hmm. And then Jamie's there with the leash on, because of course, from what happened last time at a wedding, Lucas's wedding. Yeah, so Skill's not. He's not taking any chances.
I mean, it was smart of him, even though it looked funny. But like, how about you just watch the kid?
I know, and then they're kind of out in the open, so it's more easier to be aware of your surroundings too.
Yeah, like know that he's there.
Yeah, so I thought it was over the top that he had the walkie-talkies to communicate.
And he was calling himself Denzel, and he called Jamie Macaulay.
Yeah,
it was funny.
Yeah, and Skills even tells Jamie to not even think about going to the bathroom.
Oh, okay, but here's my thing for Skills. Have him use the bathroom before you go, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he definitely should be like, okay, we're going to be sitting down soon, in 10 minutes. Let's go to the bathroom, because you can hold it for 30 minutes.
Right.
That's what he should have done that's what they should have done at the last wedding. Had him hold it. And he should have went to the bathroom before the ceremony.
Right.
Because again, it wasn't that long either.
Mm-hmm. And then at Close Over Bros, Peyton walks up behind Brooke in her wedding dress. And Brooke, says she thinks her and her eight-month-old sidekick look beautiful. And then checks in on Peyton to make sure she's not overdoing it. And then that's when Peyton kind of randomly tells Brooke that if anything happens to her when the baby comes, she wants her to take care of Lucas.
Okay, now I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
I don't know. It sounds like I don't know, marry him or something. I don't know.
That's okay. That is exactly what I thought too. I was like, it really sounds like she wants them to end up together if something happens to her. But I'm like, they both would have to be interested.
Yeah, and then right after that, she asks if she's talked to Julian lately.
Yeah, so forget that. Like, okay, but like my thing is,
she's single.
Like I've heard this of like back in like the 40s and 50s of like, especially like when the soldiers went off, of like, if I don't come back, to whoever, like take care of them and everything. But like for Peyton, like it's the 2000s. No, they should not get married just because you passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't think their grief would let them,
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, they can help each other out, but that's it. And she can be there for your daughter. But that's it. Like, no. And so I don't like when people say that, because again, that person has to be, or they both have to be interested. I mean, do you like when people do that?
No.
It's weird. Like, just say, I just want you to look out for him. Not like basically be with him.
Right. So yeah, Payne goes on to tell Brooke how she's so thankful for her and everything, make it emotional. So Brooke tells her not to, because they're gonna ruin their makeup.
Even though Brooke has already ruined her makeup by crying.
Yeah. And that's when she warns her to, if she goes anywhere before she says so, they're not best friends anymore. And then
well, I guess they're not best friends anymore.
Oh, you mean after this?
Well, I'm saying because she disappears off in the sunset.
Yeah. And then Mia, of course, is performing at the wedding. And that's when Chase walks in. and she likes the way he looks in a suit.
Yeah, and all they want to talk about is if anyone's gonna have wedding sex.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing that's on their mind.
Yeah, and right before that, they ask about their opinion about weddings to each other. So she likes the idea, and he says he's more of a reception guy. So basically, they're just kind of casually asking each other, like, could you see yourself getting married? So that's a no for Chase.
Well, like, she's only 18, first of all.
Yeah, I mean, they could be serious. You never know at this point. But yeah, just throwing it out there. Because if, they can't agree on that, then there's really no point in, keeping the relationship going.
But they also just started, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then they mentioned about the bridesmaid, like having, like, he says that there's always a bridesmaid who gets drunk and freaky, and Mia says that Brooke is Payne's bridesmaid. So then it gets awkward after that.
Yeah, because, he's the one that slept with her.
Yeah. But Mia says that if he plays his parts right, then he might be having the slutty wedding sex. And then he's like, yeah, I have to wear more suits. And then Brooke gets to the wedding now with the clothes, running to Lucas.
It was already dressed, and she's like, here, put this on. Like, it's better and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay. Like, I don't understand what was wrong with what he was wearing, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was already dressed. Also, like, if you were going to give this to him, why didn't you give it to him before?
I don't know, I guess you want to help Peyton and didn't think of it.
It's weird. Like, why, even for, like, Nathan, she's doing all this at the wedding. Normally, you give them their suit before the wedding.
Mm-hmm. And then Nathan gets there and he sees Haley placing the flowers on the arch. And he says it's, one hell of a view, and she agrees. It's really beautiful out there. And he says,
he met her.
View.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then Haley tells him that his suit is with Lucas, so he should go get changed because he got there a little bit later. And then Haley says that she loves how Nathan goes away then comes back, like that feeling that they get when they reunite. So at least long distance isn't, putting a strain on the relationship.
Yep, like it did before.
Mm-hmm. And then Lucas walks out of the tent to show Brooke the suit. She likes it on him and says that there's a tux for Nathan too. So she's got it, like everybody had tux already.
Well, I thought it was funny when he was like, I invited someone for you as your date.
Oh, yeah, Lucas. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was Julian who's standing right there. But, okay, shouldn't he have been more specific to Julian by saying, don't bring anyone because you're Brooke's date?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what? Because he told Brooke, I got you a date. But, like, he clearly didn't tell Julian that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he brought that other Brooke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Julian sees that Brooke didn't know he would be there. And so Brooke thinks, she had a date, and Missy comes walking up, of course. And because for some reason Julian held on to her contact info to bring her as a date, even though the movie's been over for a while.
Okay, and isn't that weird? Again, he was like a producer on the movie, and he is going to bring an actress. Like, as in he had more of like the higher up in the movie, like by being the producer. Again, I don't really see too many producers running around with actresses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, so I wonder if they were dating for a while because she's already calling him baby. And
well, either that or she just always calls people that.
Yeah.
Because I don't really think they were dating. I think he was just using her.
Yeah. Well, anyways, this makes Julian look like he like his dad from before was telling the truth about how he moved on from Payne so quickly. Like, this is the kind of Julian that he was talking about.
Because who was it? Lucas or Peyton? He told one of them he was basically doing it to make Brooke jealous.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, like, that, like, before Brooke found out that this wasn't the kind of guy Julian was after him and Peyton ended, but now here he is, like moving on so quick and with Missy. So.
Yeah. But little does she know he doesn't actually like her, which again is worse because he was the producer. So he was just using her.
Mm-hmm. And then Mouth is recording everything on his camera. And he starts recording Skills and Lauren and Jamie and Millie.
And then Jamie's gone.
Yep.
And but then I thought it was bad because Lauren knows where he is. He's behind the tree or whatever. And then they're on this little team of oh, let's not tell Skills. That's frightening for him because of what happened last time, how he got kidnapped. So I'm that's horrible of her to do.
And then in the tent, Brooke storms in saying she's pissed because that whore stole her man. And Haley said it's their wedding day, so doesn't she think it's time to let it go? And Brooke said, not Payne, it's Missy. And Haley doesn't know who she is because, she wasn't part of the movie at all like that. And Haley acts like she knows, but, so she doesn't know what she's talking about. And Brooke rewinds and says Julian is there and he brought Missy, that little actress, as his date. And what was he thinking? And Payne says that she said no before. And Brooke, asks Payne, would the bride like to wear red today? Which was a big jump.
Also not a good jump because Brooke knows she has something wrong. So you definitely would not say that to somebody who could die.
And then she's kind of foreshadows that anyways.
Yeah, by saying it.
Yeah, so Brooke's just, really mad and everything. And not in the happy bliss anymore of the wedding. And then Payne just kind of ignores her beforehand and, goes on how she's 8.5 months pregnant and getting married now. And Haley's nervous about being the minister. But Payne said she's going to be great. And if she gets stuck, just think of, song lyrics.
I thought it was weird when everybody was kind of leaving out of there. And it was Millie was standing there. It was, I feel like it was a little awkward between Haley and Millie.
Yeah, because they've never really interacted with one another.
No, so that's why it's weird that she just stood there. She didn't walk out with Brooke or anything. She stood there, and it was just I could just tell how awkward it was.
And then Mouth's still filming, and then Skills goes on about how everybody's been waiting for them to get married since their days on the river court, and how he was talking about stealing her from Nathan and talking trash about Nathan. And that's
about him. Yeah, that's oh, that's not nice. That was funny.
And then, when Jamie got loose, he attached it to somebody's dog.
Yeah, where this dog come from?
Yeah, we never see it with the owner at all.
Nope. And then he goes, you said that damn kid is a genius. It's yep.
Yeah. And then Haley finds Nathan alone on the pier, and he's just thinking about how Nino was called up, and the Clippers were looking at the both of them. And he's just kind of feeling bad because he's the one that gave, Nino tips on how to play better. And now he's in the NBA.
But that's what his coach wanted him to do. Remember, he wanted him to teach him how to play that position. So Nathan did that. And look what happened. Maybe he should have been more like Nino and said no. I'm not the coach. You are. Coach him. Am I getting paid extra to teach him? No. And so, then she said, well, you never know or whatever. And he's they've never sent 2 guys to the pros in the same year. It's no crap. Again, because there's so many teams. How could they? Or why would they?
Yeah.
It was weird how he apologized, though, to her for what?
Not getting called up. He thinks it's his fault somehow.
I know, but why would she care either way? She did not marry him to be in the NBA.
Yeah, he just, wants to be his best version of himself, so he feels like he let her down.
It's just weird. I'm like, why are you apologizing to her? Just apologize to yourself, because you're the one that, wanted this so bad. Like, yeah, she wanted it for you, but you had to put the work in, and it was your dream. So it's kind of weird, because I was like, that wasn't her dream. So why are you apologizing to her? It's not like he did something that made her not be able to sing or something anymore. I mean, that would be something to apologize for, but not this. That's his dream.
Yeah,
And
maybe
again,
Nathan.
but she's also happy either way. So I don't get it either. Because she has said that, remember? Like when he was injured and stuff, she said that. Like, if we're good.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get why it was just kind of definitely a little bit weird because he said that.
Yeah, he probably just thought this was his last chance to get in, and he lost it. So
I know. So apologize to yourself.
I know, it's just like a man thing,
Or maybe apologize to your son, because he's the one that looks up to you.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that ran around saying my dad's going to be in the NBA. So
Right. And then Mouth finds Lucas with his camera, and Lucas is hiding from Brooke because he invited Julian, who bought a date. And then, of course, the funny part, Nathan tells Lucas that whatever he said to him before the wedding with Lindsay, just go with that again.
yeah, and it was funny because Lucas was like, "You suck at this."
Mm-hmm. And then they stand at the front now, where Nathan says the minister is hot. And then we see Brooke and Mia then we see Brooke, and then Mia tells Chase study wedding sex. And then he tells her to stop it about Brooke. And she says, considering his history, she might want another 30 seconds in heaven from him. And Chase says it was 45. And every one of them was outstanding.
I thought it was funny when Haley said, "You look beautiful" to Brooke. And she goes, "Hotter than Julian's kinky look-alike." And then she's like, "Right?" And they're like looking at her and they're like, "Yeah, right. Yeah, totally." It was like, oh my God.
Yeah, because they didn't answer at first. Yeah.
Yeah, they were just like looking at her like, seriously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was hilarious.
Mm-hmm. And then Peyton walked down the aisle with no one walking with her. I thought that was weird.
Well, I didn't like Mouth or something, because I know Mouth and Peyton used to have like a friendship in the early seasons. Like he could have walked her down the aisle.
Yeah, or
I know.
Skills even.
Yeah, but Skills was on
Jamie watched.
Jamie duty, so he couldn't actually do it. But yeah, I don't know why anyone else didn't.
And this is why her dad should have been there.
Okay, but like even Nathan could have done it. Like Lucas did it.
Yeah.
Lucas walked Haley down, then stood up.
Yeah, because he was also Nathan's best man. Yeah.
Right. Nathan could have done the exact same thing.
Yeah, that would have been like a great full circle. Yeah.
Yeah, he could have jumped in again and said like, "Hey, no, your dad's not here, but like, I'd love to walk you down."
Mm-hmm. And then Haley starts the ceremony with a fun fact about the origin of the word matrimony, which means motherhood, and says she thought it was appropriate today, meaning with Peyton being pregnant. And she laughs, but no one else does. And Lucas ends up laughing only because no one else said her joke. And then she tries the song lyric trick Peyton suggested by grabbing a rose from the altar and starts quoting, "Every rose has its thorn."
It just was getting worse.
Mm-hmm. And Peyton's even like, really?
Yeah, like
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was bad. And then it was so awkward. And then that's when she jumps into Lucas's predictions.
Yeah. And in the middle too, she calls out Skills because he lost sight of Jamie again, but he was just at the end of the aisle petting the dog.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, apparently he started worrying about Peyton in the 8th grade, and then the 9th, 10th, and 11th, and then that's when they first started talking. He could have the courage to talk to her.
Yeah, and I guess he told Haley that Peyton was a bitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When they talked.
Yeah, when her car broke down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And
spot.
Yeah, and that's when he said that Peyton was human after all, which I do think I don't think it was really that part because she was mean to him, but I think it was after that where he was like, no, she's actually a different person, remember? Because she was a different person when she wasn't around Brooke or Nathan. She was nicer.
Yeah.
And but I don't think it was the very first meeting.
Right. And then Haley goes on to say she believes in true love and she believes love at first sight. And then that's when Millie and Mouth look at each other. So is Chase and Mia. And then even Fergie and Junk look at each other.
I know. I don't know.
That was like they're barely even in the show at all. And then they have them have
look
this
at
moment.
it. Yeah. It's not like they weren't, like looking at someone else like, hey, like that's who I'd like to, get with or something.
Yeah.
Just look to each other.
And then Haley mentioned about there being hard days and things to deal with that are difficult. And then we see Brooke and Julian thinking about that. And Haley says that finding the person who does it for you and knowing that person loves you back just makes everything better. And then Haley reads Lucas's prediction again about Payne becoming Mrs. Scott. And then Lucas says his vows, Payne says hers, everybody's crying. And then Haley pronounces them man and wife, and she tells Lucas to kiss the bride, and everyone claps. And then Nick Lachey is singing in the studio at the label alone while everybody's at the wedding.
Okay, but yeah, I guess so. But my whole thing was, why is Brooke there? She was just at the wedding.
Well, I guess the ceremony's done, so now it's the reception afterwards. So
I know, but she's also the maid of honor.
Yeah, I'm sure she could have just, left really quick afterward.
But also, it's right, down the road?
I don't know.
Like, again, everywhere here is just, it's always like, oh, it's just right in the backyard. Like, it would take probably a little bit to go get him and then, try to convince him to come. And that, like, it would probably take like over an hour. And so the fact that she's there, I was like, oh, all of a sudden, she's right there. Okay.
And then she has a tux exactly in his size, too.
Yeah, because I guess she remembers his size.
So she made 3 tux. Yeah, Lucas, Nathan, and Nick. All tuxes. So she had 3 on hands like that.
Apparently. So no one else had his size. Yeah, because it was really only for him.
Yeah.
Which is weird because then she predicted she was going to bring him. Then why didn't she just bring him?
Right, yeah.
It is weird. Like, if it's one thing if he was like, hey, that's perfect. I have a tux that I brought with me or something. But like the fact that she's like, I have one. It's like, what? Why do you have one? I get Nathan and Lucas. They were in the wedding.
Yeah.
But why Nick? He wasn't even your date. You're not even dating him.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah. And then Lucas tells Julian what was he thinking about bringing movie Brooke. So everybody's just calling her Brooke, and not Missy at all. And Julian says that he's thinking movie Brooke is the only Brooke that likes him. So Lucas says maybe, but he invited him to be with the real Brooke, Brooke. And she's going to lose her mind over this. And Julian asks if she said something because, of course, he's still interested in her, but pretending he's not. And Lucas asks if he's trying to make her jealous. And Julian says he's not. He invited him to his wedding and he brought a date. That's it. And then...
and again, Julian should have said, you should have been more specific.
And then Brooke walks up and says somebody has a type, and she introduces Nick to the guys, and Missy freaks out because she's a big fan. And then, funny enough, Nick says who got married. And Lucas just shakes his head at Brooke.
And so again, it's like the ride over here. You didn't want to fill him in on anything at all.
Right.
Whose wedding, that you're only with him to try to make somebody jealous. Nothing like that.
Yeah. And then Julian is annoyed that Brooke brought Nick, even though he brought a date first. And Julian says Brooke is not making him jealous with the guy from Dancing with the Stars. And Missy says that was Drew. And then Julian says,
oh, no, then it was funny because he says, yeah, Laguna Beach. And Chase was walking by and he goes, he said, no, that was some other tool. Yeah, you. Yeah. It was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
It's always fun when they throw in those things where they make a dig at them,
Yeah.
at themselves, as in like Steven and remember Josh did it on Dawson's Creek. So
Mm-hmm.
it's always fun.
Yeah. And then Missy says that Nick is going to have some slutty wedding sex with Brooke, and that's when Julian takes off after her.
Yeah, he's like, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
He can't picture that one.
Yeah. And then Skills is pouring Lauren a drink, but starts pouring too much, so she tells him that she just wants a little because champagne makes her wild. So, of course, that makes him pour more.
All she
And
has
then,
to do is drink as much as she wants and stop.
right. Yeah, she doesn't have to drink it all, yeah.
Yeah, and then pour the rest out.
Because she shouldn't be paying for it, I'm guessing. Is it open bar? I don't know, but yeah. Or maybe Skills is even paying for it, if anything. But Jamie then wants to talk to him in private and says basically he's not okay with him dating Miss Lauren because first his granny Deb and now his teacher.
I'm sorry, but the whole granny death, it's just so funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then
it was funny. Well, I thought it was funny when he says, stay away from Madison.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I just love him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Gil says that he dislikes Lauren a lot, so Jamie was okay with that afterward. And then Missy's talking and Brooke's, over it.
Yeah, she's talking about Drew.
Mm-hmm. And then Julian comes back to the table and says he was hanging out with the guys at the bar, and Brooke knows he doesn't have friends there. So she asks who to hang out with, and he says just the boys. They're like a gang of guys, just like a band of boys, like a boy band.
Yeah. Oh, and I think it's 98 degrees in here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wish I would have watched the punch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it would have been hilarious. Okay, here's the thing. This show loves to hit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And slap and everything. Why did we not get to see it?
Right.
Come on now. That would have been so entertaining.
Maybe Nick didn't want to do it, even though it would have been stunned, but I don't know.
Well, and he would have been the one to punch Julian. Like, okay.
Right, yeah. Because but before that, Nick came back at him about how him and Missy met on the movie, a failed one. And then tells Nick how great his son is, and she thinks it's going to be a hit. Brooke says, oh no, Brooke said that it's a failed movie, yeah. So they're all poking fun at Julian.
Yeah, one that she was working on.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And the person that just got married.
Mm-hmm. And then Payne's helping Julian with giving him a bag of ice at the label. So yeah, the label has to be so close to that spot where they got married. If they keep going back and forth over there. So
well, it's funny because he's like, "What's up with the guys in Tree Hill punching me?" And she goes, "You teach them about his boy band." She said, "You used to love them."
Mm-hmm. So Julian doesn't know how he's supposed to compete with Nick because he's so cool. And he asks Payne if Brooke told her what happened between them, and she says not really. And that's how she knows it must be really hard for her because she usually struggles through the big stuff all by herself. And Julian says that he misses Brooke, and Payne tells him he should tell her that. They're playing all these games with the big dates. And maybe he wouldn't have gotten punched. And Julian tells Payne that he's happy for her and that she tells him again to talk to Brooke.
Oh, so it looks like the reception is at Trick.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
Because then, like, when Nathan and Haley go in the bathroom, right. So yeah, this is all Trick.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I forgot. Yeah. I forgot they moved locations already.
Which is weird because wouldn't the outside? Remember, they got married outside. Wouldn't it have been pretty to have the outside ceremony or have the outside reception?
Maybe they weren't allowed to be there for that long. Maybe because I'm sure they had to get a permit or something, right?
Well, yeah, but they should have just said it rained or something, so they had to move inside.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And then, of course, what better place? Trick, because Lucas owns it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Nathan is standing outside when Mouth walks up to him, and Mouth mentions that Haley told him that he came out to get some air because he's still thinking about, missing out in the NBA. And Mouth only found out from, being at the station. So Haley didn't tell him anything. And Nathan says he's happy for Nino and I hope it goes well for him. And Mouth says that he called the Chiefs to get a quote and they asked him if he'd seen him. And they had said that he was excused from practice. So he missed practice to be there at the wedding. The last minute wedding that they keep saying. And
annoying.
Yeah, and apparently Bobby didn't understand that. And Nathan says that maybe, his dream was a pipe dream that he needs to let go at some point and get on with his life, And Mel tells him that he's around if he needs anything. And for what it's worth, if he could play the game like he can play, he'd play whenever he could until they wouldn't let him play anymore. And then back inside, Lucas asks Payne how she's feeling, and she says, like a princess. And he says he knows it's not exactly how they planned it, and Payne tells him that it's better.
Again, they've been planning for 8 months.
Mm-hmm. And then Mia gets on stage telling Payne and Lucas congrats. And she's going to sing a song called Sweet Silver Lining. And she wrote it for the bride, who's her boss and also friend.
So is this her song? It's not like Missing You, a remix of somebody else.
I don't know. I didn't really pick it up, but yeah, it's hers.
Okay.
It's funny how they had the same album being Mia's album too. For Kate in real life, the same album cover and everything. But
yeah. Well, yeah. So then Peyton wants to dance, and Lucas is like, no, it's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then since she was like, fine, I'm gonna go ask Nick Lachey to dance. Or no, she said she'll go find Julian. That's right.
Yeah. And then he says he'll find Nick. Yeah.
And then he said he'll find Nick. It was funny.
Yeah. And then Haley and Nathan joined them, and Skills and Lauren. And then Brooke and Nick decide to go too. Julian's watching them, and Chase is watching Mia. And then Julian tells Misty to dance while not breaking his sight off of Brooke. And then Nathan's like zoned out about not joining the team, and Haley tells him to be there with her. And then that's when Haley pulls Nathan off the dance floor.
There's another idea.
Each other, yep.
Yep. Let's just do it in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm. And the woman's bathroom too, really small bathroom as well. And Nathan's basically like, "This is inappropriate. She's a teacher, and their son's out there."
Yeah, I liked when she said, "I'm not a teacher anymore, and our son is dancing."
Mm-hmm. And then that's when she says she doesn't care if he's not in the NBA. He is her husband and so sexy to her. And then on the dance floor, Brooke and Julian are still looking at each other while they're dancing with their dates. And then Brooke, to make him jealous because of Nick's neck, and make sure Julian saw it, and he does so in return by kissing Missy on the lips. And then Brooke makes a move again to kiss Nick. Meanwhile, Haley and Nathan are still in the bathroom, and then Payne and Lucas kiss while they dance. And at the end, Nick tells Brooke he's going to have to leave because he thinks she's made Julian jealous enough.
Yeah, and she was like, basically, like, "What are you talking about?" And he said, "I've had a real Brooke Davis kiss."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dang.
Yeah, and then he says that he can't believe Julian ruined it for him and makes him want to punch him all over again. And then he tells Brooke that he knows Julian left, but he's still clearly into her. And then Skills tells Lauren that this was another date wrong because of the kids, because Deb broke up with him because she said he should have kids. And after their last 2 dates, he doesn't even like kids. So Lauren tells Skills that he's lying because he loves Jamie and he loves him back, and she thinks the guy who appreciates kids is so sexy.
Again, the only kid he likes is Jamie.
Yeah. And then she even asks if he still has that leash. And then Julian asks Brooke to dance, and she tells him no thank you, and he says she either dances with him or says that she loves him and it's her choice. So she gets up to dance. And then she mentions that she thought he already left, and he says he was just avoiding her and Nick and putting ice on his eye. and that Missy just left, and he accidentally called her Brooke at the bar. So that was bound to happen because they kept calling her fake Brooke, movie Brooke, instead of Missy. So that's not a surprise.
Yeah, all night.
And then he asks about, Sam. So Brooke tells him she, went to go live with her birth mom. So Jillian knows how hard that's for her. And he wishes that Brooke would have called him when that happened.
Yeah, and she said, and then she stops and says she can't do it anymore. Which is annoying, but okay.
Right. Yeah. And then at home, Nathan tells Haley that his girl was kind of dirty tonight. And Haley says she was not. Nathan says she was, but he liked it. And then he mentions about skipping practice to be there today because he's getting tired of missing everything.
Yeah, and then she said, is it you missing, like, do you not like, missing things, or basically because you feel like you failed? And it was because he feels like a failure.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, those are two different things.
And
then she takes him to Jamie's room to show him that he is his hero.
Yep.
Which I thought was nice.
And Jamie, being Nathan's son, is holding a basketball as he sleeps. And then Chase is proud of Mia for her performance for the wedding. And she's bummed out apparently because she doesn't think anybody had slutty wedding sex. Don't know why everybody's so obsessed about this. Or at least they are. And Chase says not yet. And Mia says, right, 30 seconds of heaven. He corrects her, saying 45 again. And then Chase gives Julian a drink, and Julian tells him bourbon is a good, honest drink, and Chase says it's not. And then mentions he saw him dancing with Brooke. And he asks Julian, didn't he have a date? And Brooke did too. What happened to them? And Julian just shrugs. And then we see Missy and Nick making out on top of Peyton's pool table.
Like what?
So, yeah, they didn't, go too far.
Dude, I thought it was weird.
What?
Was Chase was the bartender at the wedding. Do you remember all the times that they're going to make fun of Chase and how he is a terrible bartender? Like, there's this thing that goes on, I think, for the rest of the season of how Chase is a bad bartender. And so these
bartender, yeah.
No, as in he's stuff he makes, they would always slap him, and like there was always like this thing that like he couldn't really make the drinks properly and stuff. And my thing is, why would you have him at your wedding? Like they're acting like he's a good bartender, but later on they switch it up.
Yeah, maybe he got better, possibly.
No, I'm saying to the worst. Like here, he's okay, but in the later seasons, when we move forward, he isn't so good.
I just remember he kept telling people that he's the bar manager and not bartender. So they're like looking down at him for just being a bartender. That's all I remember. And then Misty had to tell Nick that he looks just like Drew while he tells her she looks exactly like Brooke.
I don't think so.
Right. And then Jillian goes to see Brooke at the store, but meets Victoria instead. And then he introduces himself to her, and she says, of course, he's Jillian. And she introduces herself. So in return, he says, of course, she's Victoria. And he just asks her to tell Brooke to call him. And then Victoria asks if he realizes that the name of the company is Clothes Over Bros. And that's when Julian tells Victoria that basically his father made him feel like he wasn't good enough, just like she does with Brooke.
Yeah, so basically he met her. It was like having his dad around, yeah.
Yeah, so he tells her nice work for having done that to Brooke, all that damage. And she's like, are you finished? And he says, not yet. And then says that he loves her daughter. And one of these days she's going to love him back. And when she does, she's either going to have to learn to be nice to her or won't be in her life. And then he tells Victoria it was nice to meet her. It feels like he's known her all his life.
Yeah, so I said, yeah.
And Victoria actually looks sad and like guilty about that. And then Peyton and Lucas get home, and he's covering her eyes to surprise her with how he decorated the house with lights and rose petals on the floor. And then he keeps calling her Peyton Scott, and she loves the way that sounds. And he says that they should get her to bed. It's been a long day.
Yeah, and she said it was a perfect day, and he said, I think you can handle maybe just one more surprise. Of course, she's happy. So he goes to the garage while she starts bleeding out.
Yep.
All sad.
Yeah.
I mean, it was weird how it's not like the car was coming inside.
Right, yeah.
So why didn't he just walk her over there?
Yeah, because he just had to pull the turf off. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, obviously the low, Peyton bleeding out. The high, finally them getting married.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Yeah, me too.
And then what would you rate it?
Like a 8.5.
Oh, I have to give it a 10.
Mm.
Again, it was good from beginning to end.
Mm-hmm.
And again, they finally got married, so definitely got to give it a 10.
Right.
And then who was your best and worst?
The worst was Julian because he brought Misty at a date, just trying to make Brooke jealous, and they, do all those games, and he gets punched, which he kind of deserved for doing that to Brooke. And then the best was Haley, just because she stepped in as a minister, and she made Nathan feel good, even though he felt bad about not being in the NBA. And yeah. And yours?
So for me, I thought that the worst definitely was Julian for that. And then I picked the best was Lucas. But like, here's the thing about Julian. It's like, did he really think Lucas was just inviting him to the wedding?
Right. Yeah.
Like, they don't really have a relationship. It was a working relationship. It's not like he's checking up on him. Hey, how you doing, friend? No. So that was just weird. I'm like, so you really think that he invited you just to go to the wedding? Not for somebody?
And it's been months since the movie got canceled, right?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying is like, why would he think that Lucas invited him just to go to their wedding? Like, again, they're not friends. They haven't kept in touch. Right. So it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's next episode?
The finale of season 6, episode 24, Remember Me as a Time of Day.
So not ready to see this one.
Yeah, if she'll live or die, yeah.
Yes. All right. Thanks for listening.
Yep, I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would appreciate it.